I know that's right.
Mais comment ça va, Chad? Welcome to the Bon Ton Cooking Show. Today we're making some chicken fricassee. Now let me show y'all what y'all need. So the first thing you'll need is some rice. Then you need some roux. You can either make your own, but if you buy that Savoy's dark roux. Then we got some Justin Wilson habanero seasoning. Just use your favorite, but that's what I like right now. Then we got some Bedouin bouillon, chicken base. And of course you're gonna need your bell peppers, your onions, and your garlic, and not to mention your chicken. Now let's start cutting off vegetables. So we're gonna take the skin off of this and you just grab it and pull it, and when it gets to be hard to pull it because it keeps slipping, use a paper towel. Then whatever fat's left over, you trim that with your knife. Then you can go ahead and find the joint on it, but if you can, you could also just snap it like that and break it a little bit, and it cuts even easier. So we're gonna season the meat after you skin it and get it cleaned up and all that. And you get it on both sides. And don't be scared to put too much, because it's gonna flavor the entire gravy. Nah, that's good and coated. Let's head to the stove. All right, so you wanna get your pot real hot, and you're gonna pour a little bit of oil at the bottom, just to cook your vegetables and stuff in. And you test that by dropping your onion in there. And that's ready. All right, so we're gonna cook this down till them onions get clear with some little brown tips on them, and you get some little grammes at the bottom of the pot. And if you don't know what grammes means, it's like whenever the pot burns a little bit at the bottom. The stuff that you make gravies out of. I'm gonna show y'all. You get a little brown stuff stuck to the bottom like that. What we're gonna do is add a little bit more oil for the chicken. And you drop that in there. Now we're gonna fry all this together. And then what you're gonna do is flip them over and let them brown on the other side. Oh yeah. And it's okay if you don't get a perfect brown on them. What you're really looking for is to brown the stuff at the bottom of the pot. The grammes, like I told you. And once you let this cook down a little while, you're gonna have some good grammes. Now that we cooked that on the other side, I'm gonna show y'all how to scratch a gravy out of that. So you're gonna put a little bit of water at a time, and then scratch all that black stuff at the bottom into the gravy, into the juice. And by the time you scratch all of this, it's gonna be like a paste. And once you got your gravy all scratched up, you're gonna cook it down on high and let it stick one more time. And then we're gonna add some more water. You know, put it to where it's about, it's hard to say, like a quarter of an inch of water at the bottom. It's just enough to kind of go halfway up the chicken. And we're gonna start adding our roux to it. And I'm gonna go with a half of a jar. So you make sure you have some water on the side of you to add to it, because I told you to put a lot of roux for the amount of water, but that's just how I like to cook it down. As you add the roux to a boiling pot of water, it boils over and all kind of stuff. But this way it doesn't do that. Whoops. All right, so after you cook your roux down all the way to where it's not clumpy, it's all like a big thick paste, you add a little bit of water to it and that cools it down real fast. It's already added a little bit, but you add some more and you bring your heat back up. So you kind of have to play with your heat when you're messing with roux, even if it's jaw roux, because you don't want to burn it. If it starts to want to stick or anything, you gotta hurry up and turn the heat like all the way down or off. But it's just something you'll get used to. So now that you got some juice going in here, you can add like 3 cloves of chopped garlic and mix that in there, and you're just gonna let it simmer like a medium to low. But before we do that, we're gonna add like a teaspoon of that chicken better than bouillon base, just for a little extra kick. And now we're gonna let that simmer on a medium to low heat and let it get real tender. So while that's simmering, I'm gonna tell y'all a little joke. So one day Boudreaux was speeding through Port Barrain and got pulled over. And the cop went and asked him, he said, "Where's your license?" He said, "I don't have one." And he said, "I don't have a registration either because the car is stolen." He said, "Then I got a gun in the glove box." And the cop was like, "Well," he said, "was there anything else you need to let me know about?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "They got a body in the trunk." So the cop calls the sheriff. When the sheriff gets there, he starts to question Boudreaux. He says, "So I hear you ain't got a license, you got your car is stolen that you driving, you got a gun in the glove box, and you got a body in the trunk." He said, "Is there anything else you need to tell me about?" He said, "No, that cop must be lying." He said, "He probably said that I was speeding too now." So once you can like break into a piece of chicken and see that it's cooked, go ahead and taste the gravy and add seasoning however you need. Like if you feel like it needs more flavor, you're gonna add garlic and onion powder. But if you need more heat, you add cayenne pepper, and if you need more salt, you add some Cajun seasoning to it. So now what we're gonna do is let it cook down and reduce till it gets real thick. Then we're gonna add a little bit more water and let it cook a little while, and it's to where the meat's gonna wanna start getting real tender and falling apart a little bit. And that's when it's gonna be ready and it's gonna be time to mange.
It's so hard to stop. Yeah. Bring it.
Join us next week where we're doing a crawfish ball with some potatoes and corn and sausage and mushrooms. Until next time, Parrain loves you.